Well, good morning, everybody. Thank you all so much for coming here today. It's a great day as we're celebrating not only continued investment in our city and downtown, but we're also making investments in making Louisville more sustainable, which has been a huge priority of ours for a long time. When you think about the climate crisis, the urgency to address it is really clear. All you have to do is watch the news, and you're seeing just climate disasters happening all over the world. And so that's why my administration has really remained focused on investing in and implementing new sustainability measures. And it's great when we can combine that, obviously, with business. You don't need, it's not an either or, like good for business, good for the climate. It's both. Our efforts have been recognized nationally and internationally. Last year, the U.S. Green Building Council awarded Louisville the LEED for City's Silver certification for our work to increase sustainability and climate resilience. And for 2 years in a row now, Louisville has joined less than 100 other global cities on CDP's A list, which recognizes cities' actions to develop robust climate change strategies, track and reduce greenhouse gas emissions, assess and mitigate climate risk, and transparently report this information. And then shortly after I took office, I commissioned the city's first ever sustainability plan, Sustain Louisville. And then through the Global Covenant of Mayors, I pledged to reduce Louisville's greenhouse gas emissions in accordance with the Paris Climate Accord and to accelerate progress toward a low emission and climate resilient future. When we went through a brief period where America removed themselves from the Paris Climate Accord, the mayors of America stayed in that accord, and I was proud to be part of that group. And then in 2020, with support from the Metro Council, we pledged to shift metro operations to 100% clean energy by 2035 and to achieve 100% clean energy community-wide by 2040. And we're looking to accelerating those timelines. Last year, I signed an executive order directing all Louisville Metro government agencies to prioritize the purchasing of electric and hybrid vehicles and green equipment. And we began working with the National Renewable Energy Laboratory to chart a course for meeting our initial clean energy goals. Then earlier this year, we launched Solar Over Louisville to make it more affordable for residents to invest in solar energy, which helps us move closer to that goal of 100% clean energy community-wide. I really want to commend our advanced planning and sustainability team over here for their leading work and coordination work on behalf of Metro government. So we've got Mike King, Tamara Schluss. Am I saying your last name right? Yes. Okay, good. Tamara's only been with us for 2 weeks. This is week 2, but we're very proud to have her with us from the University of Louisville. Dr. Tamara Schluss, I should say, and Samita. Thank you for your good work that you're doing here as well. Now, to achieve our community goal, we've got to have buy-in. We've got to have leadership from residents, businesses, and developers, because commercial buildings account for almost 26% of Louisville's greenhouse gas emissions. So that would be about the national average, so we're not alone there. And so when we take a look at how we can improve that, we have the Energy Project Assessment District, or called EPAD, and that's where Louisville building owners can help us work toward our clean energy goals while benefiting their bottom line through sustainable development. The EPAD program was first launched in 2016, and it's one of the tools that we have at Metro government to make these critical sustainability investments. We will make it easy as well. The EPAD program has enabled the investment of over $15 million into making Louisville's buildings more sustainable and more resilient. It's been utilized by a variety of properties, including a church, a fitness center, and multifamily housing. And we want more property owners to take advantage of EPAD. So we're standing in one of those properties today, number 15. It's going to be a great entertainment center here along our bustling and historic Whiskey Row corridor. Whiskey Row represents a really important part of our city's heritage, which is why shortly after I took office in 2011, it was really one of the first built environment crises we had. If you remember, the buildings along here, almost all of them, the roofs were collapsed, and there was needed to be make a decision. Were we going to knock down Whiskey Row, or were we going to revitalize Whiskey Row? So all of us wanted to revitalize Whiskey Row, but we had to figure out how to do it from a financial perspective. So a group of preservationist investors came together, Steve Wilson, Christy Brown, Jim Welch, many others, to really bring all of this back to life. And you can see on Whiskey Row here, I think when all of this is done, number 15, some of the work across the street, some of the other investments around here, this will be one of the coolest blocks in all of America just because of its authenticity and how it feels. So very happy we were able to preserve these buildings. And then, of course, a couple years after that, I think it was 2016 when the fire took place here. 2016, in the middle of construction of all this, you get the phone call that says, "Mayor, there's a huge fire in Whiskey Row." It's like, oh, great, right after we saved the buildings. So that took us back about, Jeff, probably 2 years or so in the finalization of these buildings. But you can see just the beautiful adaptive reuses that have taken place here. It's a real model for the rest of the country. So we're grateful for all the work of all those people, and now number 15 coming here. When you think then about the bigger picture of what's happening in downtown Louisville right now, there is just incredible momentum taking place from a tourism standpoint and from a nightlife activity. A lot of projects coming along. Derby City Gaming will be opening up next year. Half a dozen hotels planned or under construction. Investment in our office spaces, including 500 West Jefferson and the new Inception offices in PNC Tower, and the redevelopment of buildings such as the Starks and the Landmark buildings into mixed-use developments. Downtowns are going through transformations right now because not as many people are coming to work in offices as they used to before the pandemic, so we're trying to figure out what that means for our city. But in the meantime, I'm thankful that our tourism business, our convention business, our hospitality businesses are all growing in a very significant way. So when you think about the developments I just mentioned, many of them are in older or historic buildings. So we got to preserve the historic integrity of our city because you don't want to feel just like any town USA. And there's a lot of cities like that. When you're dropped in the middle of them and you move around, you could be anywhere. You're just not really quite sure where it is. So we've got a really authentic nature to our built environment, our architecture here in our city, and we want to preserve that and then adaptively reuse it to modern standards. And that's what's a really cool project it's all about. And then energy efficiency has to be part of that because a lot of the old buildings have shifted over time and they create gaps for air to come in when and where it shouldn't and require more energy to heat and cool. And obviously that's not good. So number 15 here, along with the brand new 130-room Tempo by Hilton Hotel, which is under construction at Jefferson and Shelby Street, so just a few blocks over that way, received more than $9.1 million in private loan funds through the EPAD program to invest in energy efficiency measures. So I want to first thank Spencer Frank, CEO of the Numbers Holding Company, for this investment here with you and your partners. And I'd also like to invite him to say a few words about how they're using the energy efficiency loan funds in this development here and why they wanted to participate in the program. Spencer? Let's hear it for Spencer Frank. Yeah, come
on. Thank you, Mayor. My name is Spencer. I'm the CEO of the Numbers Holding Company. And on behalf of myself, my entire team across the country, just really pleased to be here today in Louisville. I think more importantly than that, we're thrilled to be here in this building. There's no better site, we believe, in the entire state than to honor Kentucky as the 15th state within the country than this W.L. Weller, 1880s pre-Prohibition facility. What comes along with that type of building, though, is a lot of history, as the mayor alluded to. From underground nightclubs to historic distillers, to grocery stores, to punk rock venues. This building has seen a lot over its 140 years, on this block. And with that comes challenge, but more importantly becomes opportunity for us to take this building and bring it not only up to code, but to exceed the code that is required of us as we go through the construction phase here. So opening, in the spring of next year, number 15 is going to be a state-of-the-art, modernized, clean building, and that in large part is brought to you by River City Bank, who's our local lender here, local senior lender, and then Pace as well, and our lender on that is Lord Cap Green out of New York City. Those two institutions came together, looked at this challenge, saw the opportunity behind it, and really leveraged their dollars in a creative way to bring number 15 to life and to bring it here to Whiskey Row. So I'm appreciative to be here. I'm looking forward to having a glass of bourbon with everybody here in the spring of next year. I know everyone's going to come, and I'm just honored. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Spencer. We appreciate that. Now, last year, we partnered with a company called Energize Kentucky to administer the EPAD program and to advance our outreach efforts to contractors, commercial real estate companies, and commercial property owners. And we're starting to see the success of that partnership through the two projects that we're highlighting today and the other ones that I've mentioned. So with us is Chris Jones, the program manager for Energize Kentucky, who can talk more about their work to make sure that the development community knows about the benefits of the EPAD program. Chris? Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Good morning, everyone. Definitely very excited to be here and to partner with the Sustainability Department. I think in the energy efficiency and renewable energy space, it's a very exciting time. And the EPAD program really does unlock PACE financing. We have a lot of acronyms in our industry, but PACE stands for Property Assessed Clean Energy, but PACE financing is what it's really kind of known throughout the country. But the EPAD terminology is what in 2015 the state of Kentucky General Assembly passed for the state legislation. And so I just wanted to comment a couple things on really how this does work. So it utilizes local government special assessments for private property owners. It is a very unique, it's only been around in the country for about 10 years. A lot of, I'll say the first 15 or 20 states passed the state legislation back in kind of 2010, 2012. But for the local governments, they get to take advantage of, assisting a private property owner like this property. It allows private funds to come in. So the local government is not on the hook whatsoever as far as, providing, the financing, or if there would be a, default of payment anywhere, they're not on the hook, so to speak, for, stepping up and making those payments. But through, again, the special assessment mechanism, it allows, also private contractors to participate and, highlight their more energy efficiency type of products. Also, this program can finance solar panels. Hopefully, maybe after a couple years, this property kind of up and going, we can come back and get some solar panels on the roof. But it is a great way for property owners to install solar throughout Louisville Metro. Again, all this comes at no down payment to the property owner. The business owners who don't have to really put a business or personal guarantee down, again, back to the special assessment, that is the mechanism where, again, these private PACE lenders come through the EPAD program to provide long-term financing for the energy efficiency and renewable energy, and also water efficiency improvements. And so, and that's also what was done here in this building. We had low-flow water efficiency fixtures along with high-efficiency, energy efficiency systems like the heating and cooling systems, increased insulation, as Spencer had mentioned, above code, and again, solar panels are also eligible, and we'll come back and get some solar panels on the roof after 2 or 3 years in business here. So again, very excited to be part of the EPAD program here in Louisville, and we think that there's just great things to continue. All right, thank you, Mayor. Yep.
Thank you, Chris. I want to recognize Jeff O'Brien here as well. Jeff is over Louisville Forward, which oversees all the economic development, our built environment development. So thank you for the good work you do, working with the advanced planning and sustainability team as well. I saw Grace here. Did she take off? Grace Simmerall stopped by. She's in charge of all of our innovation and technology as well. So we got a great team at Metro Government. So I want to also thank River City Bank for working with Spencer and his team on financing the operation here, and the other partners that he mentioned as well to bring this to life. So we're hoping that this initiative here will be open by Derby 2023, and will be the spot to come, I'm sure about that, which during Derby 23, it's amazing how people are so happy to be getting back together. We just saw this with the two huge festivals, with Bourbon and Beyond, and then Louder Than Life. We had the Nulu Street Festival, the Jubilee Jug Band Festival going on. People are just glad to be back out with each other, and I'm sure we're going to be seeing that in Derby 2023 right here at number 15. So congratulations to everybody. Thank you for joining us, and if there's any questions, we'll be happy to take them. All right. Well, thanks for covering this today. We appreciate it.